Okay, so hi, it's actually been a long time since I made my last video. It was exactly 1 month, and I hope that today is the 1st of December, because I'm filming this on November 28th. But I am going to welcome you for my new series, which is Mix's mod reviews, and I will make mod reviews based on alphabetical order every day in December. Maybe there'll be some exceptional days where I will make special videos like on Christmas Day, so stay tuned, and also some smaller surprise videos, and you will also stay tuned for that. And for the first mod we have AdoraBuild, which is actually a really cool mod which adds over 100 different structures, and I will go through every one of them. So this video might be like 50 minutes long, maybe 1 hour. So if you like this video, you can like and subscribe, and if you enjoyed the mod, you can of course download it. I put the link in the description, so you can go there and download it. And have a nice watch and presentation for my showcase. So the first structure that I'm going to go through is the medium acacia house number 1. There's actually 3 of them, so I'll go through all of them because you can find them with the locate command. So let's start. As you can see, the outside is pretty cool, and yeah, just acacia. I probably won't spend too much time to show you details and things, but as you can see, here's all the loot you can get. Let me just maybe destroy the chest so you can see it quicker. And we see some furnaces, smokers, looms, craftings, and it's actually a house, so it doesn't have any function. But we have a jukebox and we have a note block, so it is actually really cool. This is a really beautiful house, and yeah, let me just show you the outside real quick again. Okay, so here we got a small acacia house, and it actually also looks really cool. The walls are maybe a little too flat, but it's still really good. So yeah, it actually looks pretty good on the inside, and there's some barrels, and there's actually really solid loot for a small house. So yeah, look, there's actually so many things you can get from those houses, and it's really good for surviving in the acacia biome. And here we are on the second small house in the Savanna biome, and as you can see, there's some plants here because there's grass on the roofs. And yeah, it looks pretty good on the outside. Someone put a tree just right here. And yeah, okay. So when you get in, you can see that there's many things like crafting tables, upgrading tables, yeah. And there's a small library, and the loot is pretty okay. Like, it's the same loot for all the houses, but yeah, it is still good. And as the last structure in the Savanna biome, you can find an abandoned well, and as you can see, it looks probably like all the normal wells. And yeah, there's a bell, and yeah, here's the inside. There's some cobwebs, and yeah, and there's actually a secret chest, and the secret chest includes some skulls, some things that not skulls, bones. But yeah, and also here's all the loot you can get when you visit all the houses in the Savanna biome. And it isn't really accurate, but yeah, it's what you can expect when you go to the Savanna, so it's really cool. You probably did not expect this, but we're actually in the end to show you 2 structures. And we have an ancient palace, and as you can see, it looks really cool. It suits the end biome really well, and when you enter it, there's not much you can see, but the loot is also really good, so it's a good alternative for the end cities. And as you can see, there's also the smithing armor, so yeah, here's the loot that you got from the first structure, and now let me find the second one. So here we got it, and it looks actually much better built. And when you enter it, yeah, you see only 1 chest, so it might include good loot. I didn't check it. Yo, there's 2 chests, so yeah, it's probably the usual loot. Yeah, and I got some diamond armor, which is great, and wow, there's actually really good loot here. And this is what you can get when you loot the 2 structures here, the ancient palaces. And I really recommend to check out the structure if you are testing out the mod. So as you can see, this is all I got. This is really cool, and I really recommend this structure and mod. The jungle really lacks structures, and this structure actually will improve the jungle a little bit. As you can see, there's a bamboo campfire, and yeah, there's really not much things you can get, but there's a bed if you want to survive the night, and there's actually some loot. So yeah, there's a campfire too, so you can get it, and a cold room. So it's not really the best structure, but if you want to get some fast loot, I will recommend it. And as the second and the final structure made of bamboo, we have the bamboo house, and as you can see, it's also located in the jungle. And yeah, it has a really unique yeah, staircase, or yeah, what you can call it, I don't know. Okay, and we got some loot. There's some food, so we can help you survive, and there's actually some iron and horse armor. So if you want to survive the night really fast, I really recommend this house. And as you can see, this is the loot you can get from looting the 2 structures in this biome. So is it worth it? Maybe. It really depends on how fast you are playing and how fast you want to get all that loot. Okay, and sorry, because I was actually wrong. There's one more structure which is made of bamboo, and it's the bamboo raft. As you can see, there's a bell here, and there's a villager inside, which is really unique because this is probably the only place where villagers spawn. But I obviously forgot about the igloo, but yeah, it will be the second place. And as you can see, there's some pretty unique loot here. So yeah. Okay, this is probably one of the best structures you can find randomly in the start of the game. And you can find, of course, the fisherman, which will give you some other things if you want. And as you can see, this is the loot I got, and this is really unique and this is really nice. So yeah, this is a really good structure in my opinion. So next up we got a really unique structure, and it's in the Nether, and it's actually called the basalt chambers. And as you can see, it's a real nice place to farm all ancient debris. And let me test it because I want to see how it works. And yeah, here we have creative. Okay, so what does, oh, this is actually TNT, and yeah, if you're not careful, this place will blow up. And it's maybe good for farming netherite, but yeah, it's not the best for you if you're playing in survival, so you gotta be careful. And yeah, here we got some more rooms, and there's actually a spawner for blazes, but I'm not in survival, so they won't attack me. But yeah, and this is probably everything for this structure, because yeah, there's not much you can do here. As you can see, there's TNT surrounding the place, and there's actually no chests, so there's only some small amounts of ancient debris. So if you want to mine some, you can of course get here and get a lot of them. And it actually spawns underground, so it will be pretty hard to find it. So yeah, maybe seek underwater, under lava, and yeah, find the structure. It's really cool. And if you like bees, then I found the perfect structure for you. Here's a beehive farm. And as you can see, there's so many flowers, a birch tree, and there's actually some loot. And there's not too much loot, there's only flowers and flint and steel, so you can farm those beehives real fast. And there's full beehives here, so you can just get bees how many you want. So this is actually a really cool structure, and it is good for bee fans. Okay, we've now been in multiple dimensions, and now it's time to return to our beautiful Birch world. And we have some Birch houses, and I'll present all of them. So first of all, we have the medium number 1 house. So, and it looks really beautiful. Just look at this. We got some beds with some staircases, which is probably unique. I don't know if it exists in the game. And as you can see, there's so many good loot. If you want emeralds, if you like apples, if you like anything good, you can just get it. This loot is really nice and yeah, colorful, I can say. Alright, then next up we got another birch house, and it's the second medium one. And as you can see, it looks really nice. There's some beds, windows, armor, and there's actually some pretty good loot, including wool, which is pretty unique. And as you can see, there's so many things. Those houses are really nice because you can find all those crafting tables, furnaces, beds, armor, and it's really good for starting players. So I will recommend this pack if I didn't say it before. So if you want to see houses like this, you can download this mod, and I really recommend it because the houses are just beautiful. And next up we got our first small house for the birch forest, and it actually looks pretty good. And as you can see, it has grass on the roof, and yeah, it looks pretty good. The entrance is pretty unique with the stairs because it's like 2 stairs higher, and yeah, you can see a pretty unique entrance. And yeah, there's some pretty solid loot as always in those places. Yeah, and there's actually some beds, but there's nothing really special with this house, but it looks really good. And yeah, you can see it from the outside. It doesn't look anything really special, but yeah, it's really cool and nice. And now it's time for the second small birch house, and this one is actually really unique. Why? Because there's a bee farm under the house, and as you can see, there's so many different flowers, so it's easy for farming new flowers. And the loot is also really nice. You can see there's some honey blocks, there's some honeycombs, and yeah, if you want to collect those, you can collect them easily, and you can get some free bees here. So this house is one of the nicer ones. And on the inside it looks actually really good. As you can see, the loot is also really good, and for a small house this is great. As you can see, it gives so much food, and there's a jack-o'-lantern and there's a honeycomb, so this is perfect if you love bees. So yeah, as you can see, yeah, there's some things in there. I did just put it there, so yeah, it doesn't spawn naturally, so I just, yeah, put it there. So that's it for this place. And here you have the loot that you can get from all the bird structures, so I will recommend going there if you want flowers or just simple food. To make the nether more interesting and more fun, they added mini bastions, which are exactly like bastions but much smaller, and as you can see, it has really good loot. So if you found one like this, you are pretty lucky. And as you can see, this is the loot you can get from only one structure, and this is absolutely massive. 2 netherite temples or templates, and yeah, I'm using disc, some armor, and yeah, let's go to another one. This is the second Blackstone bastion, a little bigger than the other one, and as you can see, the loot is probably even better than the other one. It looks great, and as you can see, I found some ancient debris, which is actually pretty useful. And yeah, is there any more chests here? Yes, there's one which gives 3 ancient debris, which is 1 netherite ingot, which is just massive. And as you can see, the structure isn't massive at all, but when you find this, consider yourself lucky, because the loot you can get here is really good. And if you want to find something smaller, the small Blackstone bastion is just perfect for you, because you can find the same loot but in just much smaller amounts, and yeah, it's probably not as good as the normal one. So yeah, I pretty much don't recommend going here, but yeah, if you want you can get some loot, but if you're lucky you can maybe get ancient debris. I didn't look after that, but maybe. And if you don't want to fight piglins and you just want some fresh loot, you can find this. This is the Bastion Temple or the Blackstone Temple, but it doesn't really include anything really special, because yeah, it's just kinda 1 gold block and nothing else. So if you want to find gold blocks, I really recommend this place. So yeah, that's everything for the Blackstone structures in the Nether. The cherry biome is one of the most boring biomes in Minecraft, and that's why someone made houses only for that biome. So let's check them out. First we have the first medium cherry house, and yeah, from the inside it looks really good. There's a separate room for the bed, and there's as usual some really nice things, and the loot is pretty good. There isn't anything really special, but yeah, that's what villagers have usually. So yeah, the house doesn't look anything really special, but yeah, it's really nice to see if you're wandering in the cherry biome. And here we got a really unique cherry house, and it's another middle one, and as you can see, it has sheep here and some soul lanterns, which is pretty weird, but yeah, I won't argue with that. And we can see some dark wood, which is also really nice, and it suits the cherry wood pretty well. And when you enter it, you can see some beds, or yeah, 1 bed, and you can see a library with 1 kinda hidden chest, which includes 1 gold nugget, which is maybe, this is maybe too much for villagers. And it has some usual loot. It isn't anything really special, but yeah, this house looks really nice, and you could probably live here if you are a star player. That's not everything, because you can find this amazing cherry raft on the water. And it actually spawns in oceans, so it doesn't need to be the cherry biome, so you can just find cherry wood really randomly. And you can find this chest, which is empty, and a boat. And here you can find some pretty nice loot, which is good for starters. So if you spawn near this, you can get some free iron and already have a pickaxe or anything. So this raft looks pretty cool, and it doesn't have a villager because there isn't any cherry villagers in the game. And in this biome there's also a really slim chance that you might find a campfire, a beehive, and a chest which includes honey balls, which is actually really cool. So you can just farm bees if your crows have flint and steel, and this is actually really cool because you can find some random loot chests randomly in the biome, which is also a really good function in my opinion. And now let's go back to the Nether, because we have some more houses, and this time we have crimson houses. And as you can see, it looks really cool because the crimson biome doesn't have any other structures except for ruined portals. And as you can see, there's a lamp, And there's a piglin head, and I don't know if it should be here because yeah, it's pretty rare, so it will ruin its rarity, but it will be a still cool thing here. And there also there's a gold armor, so you won't be chased by piglins anymore. And those lamps are a really cool detail because yeah, it shows how advanced piglins all are. Yeah, and yeah, that's everything for this house, I guess. Yep, there's nothing more. Also there's a roof up here, so you can just get in like this, which is also really cool. Next up we got another crimson house, and this one is also medium, and it's the second medium house. And as you can see, there's some hoglins in here, which is probably made for farming. And there's actually some piglin broods, so this is pretty bad to enter. And the loot is just extremely good. As you can see, you get diamond boots, netherite ingots, and smithing templates. This is just worth it to go there if you want to fight those two piglin broods. So this structure looks like this, and yeah, it's really good. So if you are playing this mod, please enter this house if you want to get some good loot really fast. And now let's go to the 3 structures that we have in the dark forest biome, which also needs updating. And this is actually the first house, which is labeled as large. And as you can see, it has a small pen with some animals, and it's chickens and cows, which is also really cool. And here's the entrance, and as you can see, it looks really good. There's a chimney, so this house is real detailed. Okay, so when you enter it, okay, you find this campfire, and what's up here? There's the attic, or no, it's a balcony and another room, and the room is pretty empty, so there's no secret chests here. And yeah, there's actually 2 barrels here, which I almost didn't notice. And as you can see, the loot is pretty nice because it's food, because I guess that this place is the kitchen. So let me go down, maybe I can find something more. Yeah, we have a library, or yeah, just a room maybe. And do we have something more? No, this is everything in the house actually. So I'm kinda disappointed by the loot, but the looks are really nice, so I really like this house. And there's also a small dark oak house here, and it actually looks pretty good. Maybe the design is even better than the other one. And as you can see, there's a lot of food. There's kinda more food in this structure than in the other one, which is kinda crazy because that one was labeled as large. But this one looks also really good and welcoming in my opinion. And here we have probably my favorite structure that is in this mod, and it's actually the pillager ship, but it's called the dark oak ship. So I thought it was part of the dark oak forest, but it's actually not. As you can see, the beds are hidden really nice, and there's some barrels, so let me check out the loot. And this loot is really great because you can find some armor trims, and it's similar to the pillager outpost. So yeah, and the inside is even better because you can find some vindicators or evokers, I know what they were called, but you can also find some diamond ore. And yeah, just look at the loot. The loot is nice, and you can find wax armor trims, which is also nice. And yeah, just going there gives you pretty good loot. It's not the best, but if you want to fight some pillagers, I recommend to. And also, yeah, I think that this guy gives you a free totem of undying, so if you want a totem, please go here. This is really worth it. Okay, now let's go to the end, where I found probably one of the best structures in this mod. Okay, also with the pillager ship, yeah. And this is the end bubble, which adds separate versions of the overworld places into the end. And as you can see, we have a lush cave in the end. As you can see, there's some deep slate, there's moss, and yeah, it just looks like a lush cave, but in the end, which is also really cool because if you need some items or you just want the end to look good, you can find this, and this will be so cool to see in the game if they add something like that. That shield bubble was really small, but this one, that shield bubble was really large, and this one is really small. Because yeah, that one was only the large variant, and as you can see, there's some bees here, because this is the bee, glass house, or yeah, I know what to call it, because it is called just a bubble. Okay, so it might be the bee bubble. And the loot is not as good as you might have thought it will be. So yeah, it's just a bubble, so if you want your natural environment to be in the end, you can just find this. But it isn't any good if you want to get some loot, because yeah, just look at this. And here we got the last bubble in the end, which is the ocean bubble. And as you can see, it's filled with fish and corals, and I don't think that it got any special loot. Just let me double check, but yeah, there's nothing here. Oh, there's a gold block, so yeah, there's actually something here. So if you want to get a free gold block, you can go here and get it, but otherwise there's just some fish and corals if you want to have them in your end world. And here you have a really unique structure, because we have the end getaway structure, and as you can see, it's filled with purple blocks, and there's many end rods, and actually there's diamonds filled under the blocks. So the structure is pretty rare, as you can guess, so yeah, you won't get all those diamonds so fast. But yeah, it's still really crazy to find, because there's a beacon on the top, which is also really crazy. And this is probably one of the greatest structures, because you can get so good loot, and it looks really cool, so you know where the end getaway is, so it's really easy to find now. And there's also a really small variant of the end getaway, which I don't think has a chest or anything, but it has a gold block under, and it has an emerald block under this, so yeah, it's still worth it, but it's not as worth as the big ones, so yeah. This mod also adds a lot of end structures, and one of them is the medium end house, and as you can see, it has, yeah, ender chest as always, and it has the usual loot as, yeah, in end cities. So it isn't anything really special, because you can't count it as a house, because yeah, it almost looks like a mini end city, but yeah, it still looks really good. Another variant of the house looks like this, and yeah, it looks much better, because it looks like a house this time, and it has an ender chest, and it has a normal chest, which also gives you some nice loot. I will show you all the loot you can get later, because yeah, those houses are really a lot. There's so many houses here in this mod, so yeah, this is huge. And we got our third medium house in the end, which actually looks just like the first one, but maybe with some different changes, and just take a look. And the actual cool thing with it is the loot, because the loot is pretty nice. Just look at those weapons, just look at those things. Yeah, it actually is a little better than the other ones, but yeah, it just looks like a mini end city like the other one. And there's also a small variant of the end houses, and one of them looks like this, which is just a part of the end city in my opinion. And it actually has an ender chest and a normal chest, which also has some pretty nice loot. It isn't the best, but yeah, it's something that you'd expect from an end city. And here we have our third mini house, or the second one I think, and this one looks actually really nice. The inside is actually really good, and the loot is, yeah, normal. The loot probably isn't different from the others, because yeah, they use the same loot pool, and it looks pretty nice. You can just find it when you fly in the end, so it's a really nice house in my opinion. But we're not done yet, because I found a small end ship, and as you can see, there's the big one and there's the small one. As you can see, there's a dragon head here, and yeah, it's just like the normal small ship, but yeah, just the loot is okay, and it isn't anything really special. It just looks like, yeah, the usual end city ship, I guess. And here we got another type of building, and it's the last one for the end right now, and it's the end temple. And as you can see, it just looks and sounds, and it is a temple, and yeah, the loot is not fantastic from what you expect from something that is called a temple, and I don't think that there's actually anything under it, so yeah, it's just a nice place for you to get some loot, but it isn't anything really special. And here we also have the large end temple, which has this end crystal flying over it. And as you can see, there's so much horse fruits here, shulkers, ender chests and normal chests. And let me just take the loot and I can show you what you can get from it. Okay, so there's just the same tools and the same thing that you can get from the cities, but this one is just faster to get in, and yeah, you have a lesser chance to die. So this is the loot that you can get from all those structures. It's the same as in the cities, so yeah, it's just a really nice detail. And yeah, let me test if I can. And I exploded the place. Okay, and now the end is done and we're back in the overworld, and now it's time for the frozen houses. Yeah, it might sound weird and it kinda looks weird, but here we have the frozen houses. You can see we have the frozen house, which is the medium one. There isn't actually any large or small ones, it's only this. And as you can see, there's some barrels, and the loot is kinda the same as the frozen villages. And there isn't anything really special with this. There's just, yeah, a furnace, a crafting table and a bed. and it actually looks pretty weird because I've never seen a combination of those two woods, but it's pretty nice. And if you don't pay attention you can miss it, but there's also frozen huts in the frozen biome, and as you can see it looks almost like a small hill on the outside, but when you get inside it looks kinda cozy and nice. And there's ice under it, so you can just slide on the carpet. And as you can see the loot is the same as the other ones. There isn't, oh, this is actually cool because you can get some food here, and a suspicious stew, okay. And here you have a bed, a smoker, and yeah, it looks like usual, so it isn't anything really special with it, but it's nice depending on how it's built. And here you have a second frozen hut, which isn't actually as hidden as the other one, but it still looks good. It has soul lanterns, but yeah, it's kinda weird to have soul lanterns in the overworld. But yeah, ancient cities have it, so this biome can also have it. And there's actually a furnace in the chest, which is pretty weird because I don't remember furnaces being in chests before. So this might be a unique chest, so yeah, and here I have some leather armor which can help you to survive in the snow. It would be better if this hut was in the mountains or anything, but yeah, it's here. But we don't need this armor too much here because there isn't any powdered snow nearby, it's just some water. Now it's time for some jungle builds, and here we have a jungle boat. And it usually floats in the ocean, so it's really random to find. And we have a jungle villager, which you know don't spawn naturally, but now they do. And as you can see there's a barrel which just has some usual boat loot, which isn't anything special, but it's still loot. And in this biome you can actually see some small jungle houses, and as you can see this one has a melon farm, and it actually looks pretty good, in my opinion one of the better houses, because it doesn't look as empty as the other ones. And here you can find some cartography tables and yeah, 2 chests, and the chests don't have too much loot I guess, but yeah, there's still some nice loot, so it isn't as bad. There's some maps paper, but it's because of the cartography paper. And the last jungle house is the jungle tree house, and it actually looks really nice. It will be really cool to find it, but you might mistake it for something living here. And you can find those wild armor trims, which are also really cool, but there isn't anything else. You can just find some loot and yeah, that's it. So it's a nice place to loot something, but it's not somewhere you can live, so yeah. Okay, now we're going to a pretty cool structure, which is one of the more unique ones in this add-on and or mod. Yeah, and yeah, it is actually the library. And when you enter it, you can see that it has an enchanting table, which is actually pretty rare. And yeah, I don't know if it will be good for the game or not, but yeah, it will be pretty nice. And here you can find many enchantment books with some enchantments, and maybe the enchantments are too good because yeah, as you can see when I get those things, those are just too good. So yeah, I would have everything maxed if I took all the books I guess. And here we also have some normal loot, which is pretty good, and it's the end loot I think. So yeah, that's why it has those armor trims, and in my opinion without those armor trims it would be really perfect. And yeah, this armor looks pretty good, but yeah, why is there a zombie head? I really don't know, but yeah, I like this library a lot. But the only problem is, as you can see, I got mending, and they are trying to make those enchantments harder to get, so this will be pretty game breaking, yeah. So here you can get the small library, and I can say that those library structures are pretty rare, so yeah, trying to find them before crafting your enchanting table might be hard, but yeah, there's still a chance that you might get it at spawn. And this is actually a pretty cool detail. And is there something inside? No. And the chests have the same loot as the others, because I think that they are using the same loot data as certain structures, so this loot is actually not original. And as you can see, those chiseled bookshelves are actually original, and yeah, they have really good enchantments. As you can see, efficiency 5, it's really hard to get this, and yeah, going into this structure will just give you those max enchantments. So in my opinion, yeah, they should just add a little weaker enchantments if they ever plan to add this structure. And now we're going to another biome, because we're going to mangrove houses. And as you can see, this is the first mangrove house. It's the small one, and it actually looks pretty good. And yeah, let's see what is on the inside. Actually a double chest and a turtle helmet. So yeah, this is actually pretty good loot, I guess. Yeah, some music disc, and I think that this is the spawner loot. So yeah, this is all you can get, and it's pretty nice. We have some red things, we have candles, and yeah, this house is pretty nice, but the only problem is the ladder. But yeah, there ain't colorful ladders in the game, so that's what I mostly want in the game. Probably one of the most original ideas is the Mangrove tree house, and as you can see, it's just built like this, so you can't know where you can enter and if the house even exists. So you just need to find the source of light, and it's easier to find it at night. But yeah, let's go to the inside, because yeah, it doesn't have any entrance, I guess. So yeah, you just, oh yeah, you can get up like this, but yeah, it's pretty hard to know this. I didn't see this, but yeah. And the loot is actually, I think, maybe the same. It just has a lot of gunpowder, okay, and a lot of name tag. It maybe has the main shaft loot, and yeah, there's nothing here. So this is actually a pretty nice house for finding loot. So yeah, let's go to the next tree house. And I think that this one is actually on the ground. So let me enter it like this, and we have something that maybe looks like a couch. And this one is much more open. As you can see, there's kinda no roof, no place. And the chest has kinda the same loot, so yeah, there's nothing different here. Next up, we got some structures in the mountains, and here we have the mountain mine. And let's see how it looks like. And it actually is filled with cobwebs. And as you can see, there's a lot of ores. So if you like mining, you'll probably like it. It's like an archaeology site, but with, yeah, ores. As you can see, there's kinda a lot of iron, so if you want a good iron source, yeah, this place is perfect for you. And we have the next mine, and this one is actually really unique. As you can see, we have a minecart that just drives down this place, and you can, yeah, disable this. And there's actually much more loot, so this is actually a really nice place. You can get some rails, you can get some redstone powered rails. Yeah, this is a pretty original structure, and finding this will be perfectly balanced if it's enough rare. And yeah, it should be not that rare and not that common, because yeah, look at it, it's really nice. And here I have something called the large mushroom, and I have to admit I was not in this mushroom before, so it's my first time exploring it, and it seems pretty odd, because yeah, why would there be a house made of mushrooms? And I got something called the fungal detective, and let me enter it. Let's see what it has. Okay, so oh, chainmail armor. Okay, so this is pretty rare, so it will be very nice to find those things here. And we have some loot. Is the loot good? Yeah, maybe. It's more like the dungeon loot, so yeah, it's nothing really special. And here we have the lodestone, or lodestone? What was it called? Lodestone, yeah. Maybe I'm not pronouncing it right, but yeah. Here we got an ender chest, which in my opinion shouldn't be here, because it's kinda too rare. If you are starting the game and you just find it, it will be too easy. But yeah, a skeleton skull, yeah, skulls are already, yeah, not that rare, so it will be nice to see it here. And yeah, the structure's overall pretty nice, but I don't know if it fits the biome in my opinion. So we actually have more structures for Nether, and here we have another smaller Nether fortress. And as you can see, there's lava here, so it's like a pillar. And let's see the inside, because it has an entrance, yeah. Oh, there's lava here again, and maybe I can find a better entrance than this. Yeah, there's something here, and yeah, let's go here. And there's actually some pretty nice loot, and I think that this is a small variant, but that may be wrong. But yeah, as you can see, there's only one chest, and it's this place, so it's probably the small variant. And this variant of the Nether Fortress is also cool, because it adds the thrill of the original Nether Fortress, but it's also smaller, so if you like playing it more safe, you can get it. And I'm sorry for the sound, but yeah, it's pretty annoying. And the loot is probably the same as all the fortresses, and the mobs are also the same. Oh, and we find a trim here actually. Okay, so this is nice. And yeah, this is everything for this structure, and let's go to the next Nether structure. Okay, so the other Nether fortresses were actually this bigger variants, and this one is actually the medium one. And let's enter it, and it is actually the same, which is kinda worse loot, so, or maybe the same, I really don't know. And we have some Nether warts, so yeah, this structure is pretty boring, but yeah, you can get some loot there. Another mini structure that you can find is the Nether fossil. And as you can see, there's just a solar campfire, and there's some skulls, so it's not really anything special, but it's a really nice addition, and yeah, it adds some variation to the fossils. And we have the nether portal structure, which actually has nether portals, and I know how to feel about this because yeah, it should be unavailable to get yeah, naturally spawn nether portals, because yeah, you need to make your own, because that would be weird. But yeah, this is maybe a pass, but yeah, please say your opinion in the comments. And we have this nether respawner, and also there's a little surprise on the inside, because there's crying obsidian, and on the inside you can get many different blocks. As an example, sometimes you can get ancient debris here, and I'm teleported to the wrong place again, and we'll actually have a spoiler for the next structure, which I might show later. And another structure for the nether that we have is at the nether temple, and it isn't any really interesting, but it has an ancient debris, so if you're looking for something you can get it. So yeah, it's not something really spectacular. And now we're actually going to the oak structures, and we have the large oak house. And this is probably the one place that is called raw large, and it's actually large because this thing looks massive. And when you get in, let's check if there's any chests or anything. Oh yeah, this is a message from AdoraBuild, and there's actually a Discord server. If you want, you can join it. So yeah, I put the link in the description if I don't forget, and if I forget, please tell me in the comments. And here we have a chest with our usual things, and we have actually some items, and I couldn't get them because I'm creative. And here, oh, this is actually a house, I think, to give credits for the people that made this, because as you can see, there's some free tools, there's some free things, and here you can get actually some heads. And whose head it is? Can I see? It's Kate Penguin, and it's one of the creators, I guess. And you have Vlad Hellish. I don't know if I'm pronouncing any of the names right, but I hope I do. And we actually have some items, so this is a nice thing to credit the creators of this add-on, or mod. Yeah, sorry that I keep saying add-on. So yeah, this house is actually really nice, and it kinda gives credit to the creators. And here you got the medium oak house. I think that this is the medium. It might be the small, but I'm probably right. And here we have the same loot, and the inside it looks actually nice. And as you can see, we have a rare flower here, and I also don't know what to think about this, because this flower is only obtained by the sniffer. So this might be a really weird way to get it, but yeah, what do you think about this? Okay, so the ways of choosing, depending on which building is big, small, or yeah, normal, is really weird, because the building was also medium and this one is also medium, and it actually looks much bigger. And let's check it out. And yeah, the inside looks really nice. I never thought about this combination of wood or just placing the same block of wood. Yeah, and yeah, those look like plants, so this is actually nice. And here at the top you can see some barrels with loot. So let's just get it, and this is the things that you can get from the structures, but I'm not actually done yet. And now it's time for the small houses, and this is weird because I don't recall sheep spawning on roofs, but here's some grass, so they might have spawned it like that. And this actually reminds me of the village house, and we actually have a village here. And it's probably the same style, and as you can see, there's a cauldron with lava. Okay, this might be a little risky, but yeah, I don't think that it burns anything. And we have some smokers, some things, and yeah, it looks just like a normal house, nothing really special. Okay, so this is another variant of the small oak house, and this one actually looks good. You can see everything through the glass. And let's see what it looks like from here. And it actually has some oak leaves, and yeah, the chest loot is the same, and I think that it's just the village loot. So yeah, let's go to the next house. Okay, so we are seeing another little house, and let's just check it out. And it looks pretty nice actually. There's some berries. It might suit the spruce biome more, but yeah. Okay, there's some barrels with a bunch of loot and food, so we're gonna collect that. And this is the loot you can get from those houses, so if you're trying to find something, this is the loot that you can expect. Okay, so we have a oak hut, and I don't think that I have enough time because this house will start burning real soon. So let me just check it out, and it isn't actually burning as of right now, so it's lucky. And as you can see, there's some emeralds, and yeah, this house looks like usual. there's nothing extremely special with it, and it's just a small hut, so if you want to spend the night here, you can, of course. Just like we had the dark oak ship, we have the normal oak ship, and this one actually has a fisher villager. And as you can see, the loot is pretty nice here. I think that it's the normal sheep loot, and here we also have some normal loot. So this one actually looks really nice. It will be really fun to encounter this villager, and the ship also looks pretty nice. The colors are good. Let's go to the next thing. And this is the oak tree. It's called the oak tree, but it is actually a fireplace and a log. And I was thinking, I'm kinda missing something, so I was looking around, and yep, there was a chest up here, and this wine might spoiled it for y'all, but yeah, not for me. And here we can find some nice things. It's probably the spawner loot, and yeah, this is all you can get from the oak structures, but yeah, they're not related. I just wanted to keep them in the same category. So as we have seen the end bubbles, we actually have one ocean bubble, and this one is with Skulk. So yeah, is it any special, or yeah, there's actually sponges under it. So this is to prevent it from soaking, but I don't think that there's anything special with this structure overall. So yeah, it's just Skulk, and it's a pretty random choice to make, but yeah, it's nice, and it's probably hard to find in the ocean when you just swim and can't find things like these. And now it's time for temples, ocean temples, because we got a lot of them. And here we have the medium one, and also the first one. And as you can see, oh, there's actually some bird treasures, and also some random things, and it's probably the ship loot, I think. So yeah, it looks really nice. There's some guardians, so if you don't want to fight the elder guardian and get this stupid effect, you can just fight here. And we have another temple. Again, it's the medium one, and the loot seems pretty bad for something that you could call a temple. So yeah, would I recommend going here? Maybe, maybe not. So it really depends on what level you are at. So now let's go to the smaller ocean temples, and we have this one. And let's see if there's some hidden loot, because yeah, there was a gold block. So yeah, this one is maybe even more worth it than the small ones. So that's pretty crazy. And the next one is also labeled as small, but it seems a lot bigger than the other one. And yeah, as you can see, it has the same formula as the other one. And let's see if there's something hidden. Yes, there's another gold block. Those blocks might change, because yeah, those structures may change the blocks that I have, but I will not know if they do. Okay, so here we got a pretty unique structure, and it's actually the prison. And actually I thought that the prison would be full of pillagers, but it's actually not. As you can see, the roof looks pretty nice. Those are pillagers guarding it, and evokers, and yeah. And let's enter it. And there's actually villagers and allies down there, I think. And the loot is pretty good. I'll show you all the loot that you can get later, but first let's just destroy all the chests. Okay, we actually got some armor trims, and yeah, here we have the villagers. So let me kinda break in, and as you can see, there's food, and there's actually a lot of food. And yeah, there's some cats, there's some LA's copper or normal golems, and yeah, this actually looks nice. And this is the loot that you can get. You can get more, because I didn't pick up most of the things, but yeah, this structure is really nice in my opinion. And as you can see, there's also a small variant, and it has the same theme. And when you enter it, as you can see, yeah, those are pretty much the same things, just yeah, in much smaller amounts. As you can see, you can get enchants from here. You can get plenty of things, even villagers, but there aren't any golems or allies in here, so yeah, it's a little different. Now we're going to structures made of one of my favorite blocks, which is red sandstone. And here we have the first red sandstone house, and I don't remember if it's big or small, but yeah, I will tell you when we get to the next building. And you can see we can have some cows here in the inside of the building, which is pretty weird. I remember doing something similar in the Badlands village video. Yeah, and here I have some pretty common things for desert villages. And up here we have a real nice balcony. You can just fall down here if you run too fast. And here we also got some things and some emeralds. So it's a pretty much normal structure, nothing really phenomenal. So yeah, it's actually really nice. Okay, so that house was actually medium. This one is the small one, and the last of houses made of red sandstone. And this one is actually abandoned. And we have some chiseled bookshelves which are empty, which is, yeah, pretty bad. I wish that there could be at least one book that had some enchants. But yeah, the loot is normal, and the house isn't actually pretty special. So yeah, it's just a nice place to live, but not a nice place to live because of the lack of safety. And now we're going to another type of structure, which is the red sandstone temple. And this is actually the medium one, and there's actually also a small one, which I will show you soon. And yeah, is there anything special? Wait, there might not be anything here, which makes this structure pretty boring. And yeah, there's actually some ores here. Okay, I'm sorry for not noticing this fast. But yeah, there's actually ores under this, which isn't really special, but yeah, it's cool. Okay, there's a diamond ore, so it's not that bad, but yeah, I will pretty much avoid it because it takes too much time to get, I guess. And here we have the smaller variant, and actually has water here, but there isn't anything under the water because there's a chest here, and this chest is actually trapped. So I'm kinda scared to check, but there's actually TNT under it. And how much TNT is it? Yep, it's the normal amount. And okay, the chest is bad because it's probably taken from the desert temple loot, but it should actually have better loot because it's kinda risky if you don't know the game, and you can just accidentally open it and boom. And now we're going to normal sand, and here we have the sand castle. And there's actually only a small variant and a new type, which is called tiny. So let's see. Whoa, and this is actually really nice, and this should be really rare, and I hope that this is pretty rare because this is just crazy. Okay, the loot isn't phenomenal or anything, but there's our literal mob head and an ender chest, and I said it previously, but I'm against ender chests in the overworld, so I probably delete it. And creeper heads, I really don't know about that because I want the heads to be still exclusive to doing the thunder thing. But yeah, what do you think about this? And this one is actually so cute because it's called the tiny sand castle, and it is actually tiny because it is guarded by turtles. And what do we have on the inside? Oh, we have the treasure chest loot, which is actually really good. And this is actually such a nice detail. I really want this in the game, and if it was in the game it should have a really small chance, and it will be a real nice Easter egg. Just look at this cute entrance, like whoa. Okay, so now we're going to the sand houses, and here we have the medium one. And let's check it out. It looks actually real nice from the outside. And okay, and yeah, the loot is not bad, and the inside is also really nice. It isn't the best, but yeah, it's kinda too tight here, but yeah, it's nice. And here we have the second medium sand house, and this one has actually camels, and in my opinion it should look like this because camels are too rare and it makes no one care about them. So this is a really nice thing that I actually need. We need more camels in the game. And here the loot is just as normal, and the house doesn't look really special or anything, and yeah, you can just fall down here or enter the house. It really depends. Yeah, there's actually two entrances, which is cool, yeah, and you can fall down pretty easy. And here you have the small variant of the sand house, and yeah, it looks really small. It reminds me of the small houses in normal plains villages. And yeah, as I guessed, the loot stays the same, so there's really nothing special about it. But if Mojang added those structures, the loot would probably be different. And yeah, it just looks normal. We have some flowers, and the color is blue here, so this is nice. And let's go to the next house. And here we have the last house. And this one looks actually a little bigger, and it's labeled as the small one. Okay, and it's extremely small here. Just look like there's almost no place for anything, and yeah, it looks kind of boring. It looks more like a jail than a house, but yeah, it's still nice. Okay, so here we are, and here we have a sand pyramid. It kind of reminds me of something else, but yeah, let's see how different it looks like. I already heard lava, so it might be one of the prank places. Okay, so I don't want to see the loot because I don't want it to explode, and as you can see, when I do this, yep. What does it even change? I don't know. Okay, it's just a piston. It feels more like a prank than anything else, but yeah, it's okay. It's really nothing special. It could have had more potential, but yeah, it's okay. Okay, so here we have another structure that I didn't check before, and it's called the Sand Castle, I think. And yep. Oh, did I activate it? No. And it actually has some loot, and it's called Underground Sandcastle. So does it actually have anything? Let me just go in spectator mode, and no, this should very be called a castle, but is it called a castle? Yes, but yeah, it isn't even a castle, but yeah, I don't know. As we're getting closer and closer to the end, here we have the spruce builds, and here we have the spruce house, and I think that this one is the medium one. I do not think that this is the large one, and here I have some pigs, and yeah, a bed, okay, and some barrels with loot, and I think that this is also the village loot. Yeah, most of those buildings have village loot, and let's see if there's something here. We have actually a kitchen, okay, and here we have more beds, so there's 2 bedrooms, and another bedroom, okay, 3 bedrooms, and this secret place, and this is actually the lodestone. And yeah, do we have anything more here? Of course we have, because we have some things. It isn't really good loot, but it's a nice place where you can just hide, and it's actually a nice house to live in because of yeah, the number of beds that we have. So if you want to live here with the friends, of course you can. So I was actually wrong, and the other house was actually the large one, and this one is the medium one. So let's enter it, and it actually looks a little better than the large one. It has just the brewing stand, and it has some raw food, so yeah, this is good. Oh, cookies and cake also, and some dried kelp. Okay, this is actually, I think, pretty unique loot. So let's go further, and what do we have here? We have more small rooms. This looks actually better than the large house, and we have a small balcony, okay, and we have something at the top, and yep, this is a place where you can just sit and chill, and yep, this is a really nice house, and it's maybe even better than the other one. Okay, now we're gonna do the small houses, and we actually have 3 of them, so let's start with the first, and we have a prison here, and yeah, okay, those, like oak places, or what are they called? They're called spruce places, yeah, spruce houses, and they look even better. Those are probably the best variations of houses that we have in this add-on or mod. And yeah, we have a jack-o'-lantern, and we have the grindstone, and we actually have an entrance to this secret room. And is there anything hidden here? Probably not. Oh, there's nothing written here. So I took the book, and yep, it's nothing actually. I thought it would be some Easter egg, but it's actually not. There's nothing under here, so let's go to another house. Okay, here we have the second small house, and where's the entrance? Okay, here. And is there anything cool here? Yeah, it looks pretty cozy, and there's actually a lot of barrels, and of course I'm just take all the barrels and take all the loot. So yeah, there's actually a lot of loot that you can get from those houses, so let's go to the next one. And now, as we have 4 structures to show, I am at the last small spruce yeah, building. I will forget the names. And yeah, as you can see, it looks pretty much the same as the other one. Maybe we change colors, so let me just take all the loot and see what I get, so I can show you everything that you can get from those houses. Okay, so this is actually everything that you can get, and it's actually pretty good loot. If you like food, you will definitely like everything that is here. And here we have the spruce ship, And the weird thing is that we have strays on it, which is weird. And we have also a skull here, which is also weird. And yeah, the loot is normal, it's probably the ship one. And there's actually nothing special about the ship, but yeah, there's actually 3 ships in the game if you play the mod. And now we have 2 structures left, and both of them are warped houses, which are both small. And this house is actually pretty unique because we have a strider here, and we have a chest which gives you pretty unique loot. And yeah, this house looks pretty nice from the outside, and it gives a nice feeling for the biome, and I actually like this house a lot. And this is the last structure. As you can see, it's located next to this big bastion, and it's kinda hard to say goodbye to this mod because I've been like filming this for 5 hours, maybe even longer. And I got an advancement for exploring all the structures in the Nether. I got this for the overworld, I got this for the end, and now we're here. And I think that it's time to say goodbye for this fantastic mod. It took me a lot of time to make this, but I promised to cover the entire mod and not to make parts of it. So I don't know how long this showcase will be. My guess is 52 minutes, and I hope that I will be kinda right. So see you next time. Hopefully tomorrow. It really depends on when this video is released. Thank you.